before we start the video, I'd like to ask you guys to please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video, as it helps the channel grow. So, let's get into it. Alright, so week 11 of the NFL season is coming to a close, and for the Chicago Bears, they take yet again another brutal loss to the Atlanta Falcons on Sunday. In this video, I'm just going to give you all a quick recap on what I saw during the game, give grades for offense, defense, special teams, and coaching. So without further ado, let's get into it. What's up, guys? KT here, back at it with another video. Today, we're doing the Bears. The Bears take yet again another brutal loss to the Atlanta Falcons, 27-24. This was a brutal loss. Again, another last-minute possession game. The Bears did not play their best game on Sunday, especially for play calling. So let's get straight into it. The big elephant in the room, how did Justin Fields do on Sunday? I think he did a pretty good job. He was 14 of 21 for 153 yards. He averaged 10 yards per throw, had 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He took 4 sacks, and he had an 84 quarterback rating. Justin Fields is, again, it's been one of his more pedestrian games this stretch, but he still played pretty good in my eyes. That 1 interception to end the game was not really his fault. Montgomery, that ball wasn't really intended to Montgomery. That ball was intended to Mooney behind him, but Montgomery jumped up, and it tipped right off his hands and landed straight into the defender's hands. You can't really do nothing about that. Other than that, Fields did look a little bit skittish in the first half, especially in that second quarter. And even going into the third quarter, they were even worse. So, and I think that's because he got sacked 4 times. He was taking a lot of punishment in this game. He just looked a step slow with his rushing as well. But overall, as far as passing the ball, and he still has some room to improve. A few errant throws here and there. The missed throw to Mooney early in the first quarter, which could have put them up 14-7. But other than that, I think Fields played a pretty good game as far as passing the ball. 14 of 21. Well, when you're getting sacked 4 times is not bad. So, good day for Justin Fields passing the ball. As far as rushing, here's the big conundrum. Justin Fields had 18 attempts rushing for 85 yards. He averaged 4 yards per scramble or per rush. He did get another rushing touchdown. He did lose. It says he lost a fumble today, but I don't think so. David Montgomery, he only had 17 attempts for 67 yards, and he averaged 3 yards per carry. He also had a touchdown. For rushing the ball, I think, at this point, Fields has shown so much with his passing and his rushing that he's starting to get tired. It was clear that he didn't have the same burst to him this game. He's carrying the ball way too much. I get that he is a focal point of the offense, and you want to get him involved as much as possible, but he is not a running back. You still have running backs. He should not be out carrying the running back. That's for one. Especially now that his body is starting to get beat up. He's starting to get tired. And with Khalil Herbert out, that really put a chain on their offense, because he does so much that Montgomery can't do, or he has a little bit more versatility to the game. The Falcons kind of locked up Fields on the ground, even though he still had 85 yards. This is not the same burst that we saw the last 5 games. So as far as rushing the ball, I think they did a good job. I would like to see them go more to Montgomery and not drive Fields into the ground with QB runs. But I can't really be mad. They still, amassed over 140 yards on rushing offense. Don't quote me on that. But Trestan Ebner didn't step into the role well at all. I can't wait until we get Khalil Herbert back. But rushing the ball, I would say they had a pretty good game. Solid. They didn't really influence too much of the game, but they had a solid one. Receiving, again, another pedestrian week for receiving. David Montgomery had the most catches of anybody. He only had 3. He had the most yardage of anybody. He only had 3 receptions. Cole Kmet made a nice one-handed catch today. He's really growing into his role well as that safety blanket. Like to see him get more involved on the last 3 minutes of the game, because in those positions you need guys that can get open and that the quarterback can look to and get the ball to quickly. Chase Claypool only had 2 catches again. Pringle didn't even play that much on offense, and when he did, he was ineffective. Darnell Mooney caught a touchdown pass. He had 5 targets, 4 receptions, 29 yards, and caught a nice touchdown pass. But overall receiving was lackluster again, especially in that third quarter. Just felt like the offense never really found any rhythm. So as far as receiving, I'd say they have room to improve. Defense. again, defense had a better week. They didn't allow 30 points this week to the Atlanta Falcons. Still would like to see no pressure on Mariota. He actually wasn't sacked once, and compare that with the 4 sacks that the Falcons had. They kind of got outdueled on defense. Jaquan Brisker had 11 total tackles, 7 solo tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and he did force 1 fumble. That was on Cordell Patterson. Jack Sanborn once again had a good game, 9 total tackles, 8 solo tackles. He did not get a tackle for loss, as he did struggle getting guys down in the backfield. But other than that, defense, I like Kyler Gordon, the way he was tackling on Sunday. But other than that, nobody else really made as much of an impact on the game as far as defense. They got key stops when they needed to. They did get the ball back to their offense, but at the end of the day, 27 points to the Atlanta Falcons, especially some of those coming through the air. Not good, and not getting any sacks on the Atlanta Falcons is bad. They need some pass rushing. They need another linebacker, as Nicholas Morrow is not it at that linebacker position. But I do like Jack Sanborn. Jaquan Brisker is making a case for Defensive Rookie of the Year. So defense, I'll say they played a solid game, but nothing to write home about. Special teams. Let's do special teams for a minute. Velus Jones returned. He did have a very good kick return. He had 1 for 55 yards. That was his only kick return. And Cairo Santos did miss a field goal. It was from 56 yards. So, I mean, he doesn't have the biggest leg in the world. He did make all 3 of his extra points, so I can't really blame him too much. They did give up a kick return to Cordell Patterson, the former Bear. Hats off to him. I couldn't even be mad about that, because CPAT was just so electric when he was here. And he's one of my favorite players to watch, and he's one of my favorite players in the league. So I can't be too mad at that. But still, special teams didn't have the best game. Giving up punt returns, giving up kick returns. So, yeah, I'm just going to get straight into the grades. For the offense, I'm going to give them a C. And because we just didn't see the same output that we've seen in the past few weeks. The Bears were averaging 30 points, and they almost got there today, but it just seemed like they were never in rhythm. The play calling on the last drive was absolutely horrible. And even earlier in the game, conservative play calls, the pocket not moving a lot. They're not running the ball with their backs. The 2 design QB runs on the last drive that got Fields hurt is very mind-boggling. So I'm gonna have to give them a C for this performance. Hopefully they can bounce back next week and get some things together. But we'll see what happens. For defense, I'm gonna give them again another C. They were just average today. They didn't get any sacks. They did force turnovers. Jaquan Brisker played well. Jack Sanborn played well. But no sacks, no interceptions on Mariota. He's going to have to dock them, and they gave up 27 points, and they still cannot get off the field on 3rd down. For special teams, they're going to have to settle with this D. Pause. Because the kick return, obviously, and the punt return, I do like that they were able to force a turnover on special teams that gave the Bears good field position. But overall, special teams didn't make as much of an impact. The missed field goal hurt them. I don't even know why they would go for a 56-yard field goal, as they know Cairo Santos doesn't have the big leg. But I did like what Velus Jones did on kick return, and he didn't particularly hurt them on that kick return. So, special teams is what it is. They're going to get a D. Coaching, I'm going to have to give the coaching a C-. While I do like that they scored over 20 points, and their offense is still okay. It wasn't. The play calling definitely seemed more conservative. They seem very predictable. Again, Fields is shaken up because of that, because he's tired, and they're doing way too many QB runs. No creativity in the run game. Very poor play calling and the crunch time in the game. Alan Williams still has not proven that he's a viable defensive coordinator for the future, so I'm going to have to give them a C. But overall, it was just a brutal loss to the Atlanta Falcons. The Bears now have the number 2 pick in the draft as it stands. But yeah, another brutal loss, so hopefully they can bounce back against the Jets. We'll see if Justin Fields plays next week. But I'm going to get up out of here. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the videos. It helps the channel grow. Hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I drop one of these Bears videos. Leave your comment in the comment section. Follow me on social media. Bear down. Peace.